Hi everyone. Nice to see you today. I can see a lot of you already joined. So I'm here today with you, speaking on behalf of Yandex and Ford BMX. I hope you can clearly see me and hear me. Please type in something in the chat box to confirm that you can hear me very clear. All right. For Simpson, Jen. Yeah, okay, it's clear. Perfect, thanks. Thanks, Jens. Thanks, Umut. Thanks, Massimo. Brilliant. Today, I'm going to be your host, and I'm going to be explaining you the new interface of Yandex.Direct. So a couple of words about myself. I'm an associate digital director at Ford BMX agency, and I'm at the same time an exclusive training coach of Yandex. So you've probably already seen me online. Last year I hosted a whole day event dedicated to the different products of Yandex ads platform, different strategies, biddings and keywords, and all kind of things. So if you haven't seen me, have a look. And those days was quite brilliant. We've touched based a lot of different questions. But today our focus will be the new interface. So a couple of words about today's training. We're going to cover those changes that were affected during 2020. The switch from the old interface to the new one. You're probably aware if you're already aware of the Yandex.Direct platform. If not, today is going to be your first time when you will see at a glance different campaigns, tabs, different ad groups, and how to navigate through all of these buttons. Cool. Here's the agenda of our day. The 5 sections we have to cover. The first one will be campaigns, ad groups, ads and keywords tabs, the stats of them and how it looks like, the overall interface. The second bit will be the reporting opportunities, the reporting capabilities of the platform and statistics that you can download and view online on the fly. The third bit will be the library of useful features. The fourth will be tools available for you 24/7. And the very last one section, other useful features of Yandex.Direct. Nice, cool. So if we're ready, let's begin. I'm going to switch to the interface of Yandex.Direct. And here's the interface. Once you're logged in, you're jumping to the Yandex.Direct interface. If you're stuck like me, having a look at the Russian interface, hover over your name in the right top corner and switch to English over here. This button will switch all interface into English for you. Perfect. We're all set. We're logged into Yandex.Direct interface. We've got English as language set. Now let's go first into campaigns tab. What we see here. First of all, you've got the list of campaigns which are active or stopped or archived in your account. Don't freak out if you don't see a lot of them, because some of them might be filtered due to the filters that you applied previously, or some of them are hidden because of the purchasing model that you are having. So first of all, there are a few buttons here on the top. I hope you can clearly see the interface over here, the left-hand side panel, the upper panel, and overall the table. I'm going to hide the left-hand side panel so that the huge table is visible for you. So those gray buttons over here are clickable. All of them are clickable. Some of them may be on the right-hand side. If you have the screen dimension like this, you see a lane with buttons. Or let me give you a little bit of enlarging the screen so that it's clearly seen. The buttons are right above. So first of all, let me untick all the filters so you can see all the filters, all the campaigns that I have in the account. and quickly go to the this button here, which is called either CPC campaign or CPM campaigns. So as I said, if some of your campaigns are not visible, check what are the filters above first. Maybe you switch to CPM campaigns, like I did right now, and I have no campaigns here at all. Let's go back to the CPC campaigns. Another bit is the filter of archived or active campaigns. For instance, here you can see that I'm looking at all non-archived campaigns. Bear in mind, if your campaign is stopped for more than 30 days, it will be automatically archived and put in the archive, and so you can't really see it over here unless you tick all campaigns, and those campaigns will be visible here. Brilliant. What are other buttons here? First of all, you can specify whichever columns you want to see per campaign. So each lane here is a campaign. Basically, you've got status, you've got strategy, platform, targeting platform in either ad networks or search, or both of them can be targeted. You got weekly budgets for the campaigns if the strategy of the campaign is automated. And you've got stats from Yandex itself or from Yandex Metrica if Metrica is enabled. So in order to customize these columns, you either click on here on column button and click to see whatever columns you want to pop in. Or you can basically stretch this to make it a little bit less in terms of the wideness. So again, as I said, there are both metrics from Yandex itself, from Yandex system, or from Yandex Metrica. Now, to understand what are the conversion levels or conversion rate and bounce rate and all other things, go over conversions button over here, where you can customize whichever conversion you'd like to see from this campaign. For this campaign from Yandex Metrica. For instance, if I clicked for order paid conversion, I will see only those conversions that were paid for, that done over the past period of time that I've chosen. And this is another button for you to customize the statistics that is visible for the certain period of time, either 30 days or 90 days or a year before, or some custom period that you want to specify. I'm going to leave it to 30 days for ease of navigation. Great. We familiarized ourselves with the interface of the starting page. Now, I would like to show you the settings of each campaign of the new interface and show you different bits of this interface. So two things how you can navigate to settings. First of all, you can click on Edit over here, and it will bring you to the page with campaign settings. Or you can hover over the settings wheel over this one, click on it, and go to the Edit again. This will bring you to the settings of this campaign. Okay, let's go to the settings. Top to bottom, I'm going to go through and see what are the things here. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. Whenever you have a question, please type it in the chat box. I'm going to go through, once I end this section, I'm going to hover over chat box and see what are the questions, try to answer them quite quickly, and go to the next section. In the end of our webinar, we'll still have a few bits to cover questions and answers. So for those difficult questions that I will not answer during the webinar, you will still have a chance to ask me something interesting. Brilliant. So whenever you have a question, just type it in, and my colleagues will support me in moderating this. Brilliant. So the settings of the campaign. Top to bottom. First of all, you've got an option to amend the campaign name. You see the campaign ID here. And you can link this campaign to any company that if you have it registered in Yandex directory, which will bring some ratings, some reviews from Yandex directory and Yandex Maps to your ads on search and ad networks. So bear in mind, if you registered on Yandex Maps, link it over here, and it will available for you to customize your ads a little bit more with more extension. Now, next section that we're going to go through is the campaign conversions and budgets. There are 3 blocks over here. First one is the conversion tag, basically Yandex Metrica tag. So whenever you have Metrica, link it to the campaign here by adding the number. And if you do not want to tag your URLs manually, or automatically, manually, just click over here to tag links for Yandex Metrica. This will enable Yandex.Direct to track each click of your audience that is landing on the website automatically without need to specify all the UTMs or all the parameters for tracking purposes. If you are tracking your data with another analytical tool like Google Analytics, then obviously you have to manually apply tracking like UTM parameters. Cool. The next bit in this section is priority goals. Whenever you have a goal already set in the Yandex Metrica, you can specify it here for automated bid adjustments. The next bit is strategy. You can check whatever strategies you have set already for your campaign. You can change it here, basically from the drop-down menu. First of all, you can choose what is the placements that you want your campaign to show on, either search or ad networks or both. The recommendation for you always is to split your campaigns between search and ad networks and run it separately to customize and apply some different ads and different creatives. And then an option for you to choose between the strategies list. First of all, you've got the optimized ROI strategy. This is similar to target ROI. Whenever you choose it, you can specify the desired return on investment, and the automated bidding will try to optimize your campaigns towards this target ROI. Then you can set the maximum weekly spend. Bear in mind that this will be Monday to Sunday spend, because Yandex optimizes for the full week, Monday to Sunday. And you can also set the max CPC for your ads, but don't limit your campaign too much. Don't limit your bidding strategy too much. Try to put the limitations one by one and play around with these limitations. Finally, you can choose another strategy here with the conversion optimizations, for instance. This is basically TCPA. And you can choose the average CPA for your campaign and run it there. And you can also limit your campaign with the weekly budget and set the max CPC. Nice. A couple of more bidding strategies you have here: click optimization and manual bid adjustments, manual bid management, apologies. For those that are not having Yandex Metrica installed yet, these will be your only 2 bidding strategies that you can run with, either manual bid management or click optimization. Perfect. Let's cancel this one, and we're finished with the first section and go to the next one. Whenever you have a question about a very difficult question about or you're interested about the different strategies or priority goals or conversion tags, hover on the right-hand side, click on the priority goals, and it will navigate you to the support center where you can read at full. For instance, here, if I click on priority center, priority goals, I can then read through carefully about how to set this up, how to calculate, etc. Coming back to the interface. Next section of campaign settings contains a few blocks here. You can set the campaign starts date and apply some campaign end date. If you put the 26th of March as the end date for your campaign, bear in mind that this will be the very last day when your campaign is active. So 26th will still have some impressions and clicks. The next day, the 27th, Yandex.Direct will not give any impression for your campaign. It's still going to be active, but and it will have an end date already passed, so it will not shown at all. You can also play with impressions schedule here. So different options for you if you're targeting one specific region which is not very wide in terms of time zones. Play around. You can set different time zones over here, and click on what hours you want to target. And you can also enable bid management to apply some bids during hours, only if you have manual bid adjustments with optimization strategy ticked on. Cool. Next bit you've got is bid adjustments. So on campaign level, you can adjust bids for all ads in your ad groups by either target audience, with targeting specific audience that you've set previously. If you don't have here anything, I will show you a bit later where you can add some specific retargeting lists, similar to RLSA. You might be familiarized with this acronym, retargeting lists for search ads. This is the place where you can set bid adjustment for RLSA. You can apply uplift, or you can decrease the bid by a certain amount. Now, next thing you can adjust your bids by is devices. Devices you can adjust either for desktops or smartphones. Tablets are considered as desktops over here, so bear this in mind as well. Gender and age targeting is also available for you. Video extensions, whenever you have ads with video extensions, put it over here, and it's going to be your ads with video extension will be prioritized. You can adjust your bids for those that have video extension. Or you can set specific bid adjustments for the region. If you know for sure that certain region is converting very well, adjust your bid by this region. And this is the place where you can do it. Brilliant. We've done with bid adjustments. Next thing for you is set the region for all ad groups. You can set the region for all ad groups on your campaign, or you can go specifically to each ad group and set different regions to target per ad group. This is a very unique feature of Yandex.Direct. Next thing is negative settings, negative keywords, sorry. This is the place where you can add some negatives for all keywords in this campaign. You can also have a look at different levels, because on Yandex you can apply negatives either on campaign or ad group or keywords level, and also you can have a list of negatives and apply them to specific ad groups. So I would recommend you to explore different bits, different layers of negatives, and check whatever is useful for you. Okay, we've done with basic settings for the campaign. Next thing is advanced settings. This bit is for those who are very familiarized with already familiarized with the course and have been running campaigns for some time. So first of all, you've got expenditure targeting option. If you enable this, your ads will be shown in those regions which are outside your targeting region, but only for those who are searching something with the name of your location, or have been in that location that you're targeting in the past 28 days. You can also set the vCard extension here. This is similar to the very top organization bit. So whenever you have a phone for your support center, or you've got an email, you can set this up over here, and it will be visible for all your ads. Sometimes the ad extension will be shown, sometimes not, depending on the bidding algorithm. Cool. You can also enable to show your photos and ratings for those campaigns where you've got your business registered in the Yandex directory, Yandex Business Directory, and it's going to be linked to your Yandex Maps. Next bit is experiments. The experiments feature is available only for those who have Yandex Metrica installed, and you can simply create an experiment and run it run an A/B testing based on the different biddings, different creatives, different bidding strategies with keywords or audiences. So have a look here. This is the place where you can set the experiment right in the interface. And it will try to split your traffic in halves and give you the results in the end of the experiment. You can analyze it. You can also enable this feature to stop your ads when the website is down. This works regardless of whether you have Yandex Metrica installed on your website. So this feature will check your main domain page, and if it's unavailable, then it will automatically put on hold all your campaigns. And then once the website is up running, it will reactivate the campaigns and ads. You will give the notification straight on the email or even via SMS if you have this set in your campaign settings. Next bit is the bit with sites where impressions are blocked. Play around with this if you already know that the websites in ad network or from search network are not working very well for your business. Maybe the conversion rate is very small or cost per acquisition is quite high. So put it over here in the list of negatives sites, and your ads will not be shown on these. On the contrast or to Google Ads, you can't specify whichever sites you want your campaigns to be shown. Instead, on Yandex, by default, you're showing to all websites on Yandex Advertising Network, and you can limit those by excluding the websites. Also, the feature here, you can disable impressions for some IP addresses, for instance, for your colleagues which are located in some region, and you don't want your stats to be skewed by those who are searching for your brand just in that location. And final two bits, you can insert some part of your description line into the second headline if you don't have it set, and your bidding algorithm will try to optimize and put some description line in the second headline. Cool. And finally, you can include competitors' ads in the bidding. This is quite a unique feature. So to learn more about this, just click over here and read it through. It's quite very niche, so I don't want to really spend much time explaining what this means. Great. So we've done the campaigns settings. Now we're going to cancel these changes that I've done here and go to the next section, to the ad groups, and have a look at how ad groups set up, and also what settings you have on ad group level. Once we finish with ad groups, we'll go to ads and then bits and keywords. Once we finish with all four of them, we're going to have your questions answered. Brilliant. Now, how do I go to ad groups? Now, this bit is unclickable. First, I need to click on a few campaigns and check them. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is that if you click on the certain campaigns here, you will have an additional lane in the very bottom, which will allow you to do some actions with these campaigns, either to pause or resume, or to put it as and mark it as most important. This will enable your campaigns to be filtered by the most important label. Important feature to note that on Yandex, on campaign level, you don't have any labels unless this is the most important label. This is the only labeling feature available in the interface on campaigns level. Unlike with Google Ads or some other engines, the labeling system only available on ad groups level. I'm going to go through this in a bit. Okay, so whenever you chose few campaigns over here in the list, you've got a list of actions. You can go to stats and reporting tools for these two campaigns. You can also hover to the change log, the history of changes. And you can set metric tags and priority goals, or change the bidding strategy for these campaigns. Great. Let's go to the ad groups then now. I can see a lot of you are active on the chat box, so thank you very much for your questions. Let's finish with this section and then answered. Perfect. Now we are in the Add Groups tab here. The same story as on campaigns level. You've got the list of ad groups listed one by one. You've got different columns to customize. Clicking on the button here in columns enables you to customize different columns. And you've got tags, the one that I've just described. The labeling system on Yandex works only for ad groups. You can specify here some tags. Cool. What we can see here additionally to the campaigns, we've got the column with ads. You can quickly click on the all ads in this ad group and see how these ads will be shown on the targeting placement that is chosen. You can also see whether the ad group has some keywords or it does not have any. And you can also hover over display region quickly and check if the display region is correct up to your expectations and your settings. And further on, you can check on the statistics from Yandex Metrica. Cool. Again, to edit each ad group, you can either select a couple of them and go to Action and Edit to Ad Groups to make some multiple changes for these ad groups. Or you can go one by one. Let's do first with Edit to Ad Groups. So what are the mass changes available for you to do with ad groups? Not many. The first one is negative keywords. Yandex is still working on applying some more changes over here. But the negative keywords is something that you can use for multiple ad groups. For instance, you can set some list of negatives for all campaigns, for some campaigns that you've chosen. And you can apply this list, for instance, and replace the list of keywords here with the list that you've done in the past or somewhere else. I will give you, I will hover over the setting a little bit later where you can specify the list of negatives so you know where it is customized. So if you hover down, we're going to have ad groups one by one. First of all, this ad group ending with 18, and then next ad group ending with 44. So whenever you chose few ad groups, you'll go in the first ad group first of all, and then the second one down below. The first feature you have here is to use auto-targeting or not. It's up to you. If you don't know what this means, hover over here, read it through in the Yandex.Direct support center. This is quite a useful feature if you don't want to play around with keywords and get additional traffic for your campaigns. You can set different display regions for your campaign. You can also check the impression criteria for this ad group. Again, in Yandex, you can set your ad groups in very specific format, either based on keywords or by audience, specific audience that you've set previously, or by short-term interests. This is a very unique feature that was implemented in the past year, where you can set the user profile to look at. This ad group was specified with keywords. No retargeting or audiences were used, but still we have some, and we can apply here and just click Done, so that you can have both keywords and retargeting and audience things. This will be running on top of the keywords. Basically, either keyword bidding will be applied, or if the user is within the specific audience group that you've set, this will also be targeted. Finally, you can set the short-term user profile. For instance, you can choose if someone is interested in dogs, for instance, or in some educational electronics, and then make it save it as an interest 1 or 2, and then you will have an option for your ad group to show not only by keywords and audiences, but also by a short-term interest. So play around with this feature. This is a very new one, and it will enable you to actually bid specifically on those who have done very short-term interests. Next bit in the ad group settings is bid adjustments. Similar to what we saw in the campaign settings, you've got target audience bidding, and you can set some bids specifically for each target audience. Or you can have device bidding, or gender and age, video extensions, if this is enabled or not. Or you can even set some bidding on the weather, whenever it's cool or warm enough, or it's freezing like it is in some places at the moment. Moscow's not that freezing actually at the moment. It's slightly above 0, so I hope you you enjoy your weather at your place as well, regardless of the COVID situation. Brilliant. This is the end of the settings on the ad group level. If at any point you're not happy enough in your knowledge about any feature, you can hover always on the right hand side, click on different descriptions, and see if the support center will fulfill your knowledge gap. Cool. So yes, I'm sure that I want to exit here. So we've done with the settings tab on the ad group level, and now I wanted to go to the ads tab. So I'm going to quickly check a few ad groups. So for instance, I'm going to click on the ad group that has some keywords here, one keyword, and I also would like to show you some ad groups that have no keywords at all. And naming your ad group is one of the core things for you then to analyze statistics and reporting afterwards once you gather clicks. So bear in mind that naming the keywords ad groups by their targeting options is quite useful. So you can name it either short-term interests, or keywords-based, or interest-based, or audience-based, or you can do multiple in ways. Yandex naming convention uses different characters, so you can specify whatever characters that you like pipes or semicolons, so whatever you really want. Brilliant. So we've chosen a few of them, and let's also choose the audience bit as well. And let's go to the ads. Once I click to the ads, I will then go to the all ads of these 3 ad groups. You can see here the 3 number is specified. Cool. Similar to ad groups and campaigns tabs, here you've got the table with all ads listed one by one, and on the right-hand side you've got stats either from Yandex or like cost, CPCs, impressions, and clicks, and those derivatives from these metrics, or you've got metrics from Yandex Metrica, like conversions, conversion rate, and CPA. You can always customize these metrics by clicking the columns here. You can choose whatever stats you want to see quickly, or you can also choose what banners you want to see, either rejected or under moderation, or some active or stopped. Also, the conversion here was presumed, was preserved as we chose it on the campaign settings, on the campaign tab. And yeah, that's basically it, what we see here in the interface. Now, what you can do with ads, you can again select multiple ads at the same time. Let me check them from different ad groups and from even different campaigns. So here's Alice search campaign, and this is Yandex Station with Alice group. So I can quickly click all of them. So I've got 3 ads. We can apply some multiple changes, so I can edit 3 ads at the same time. And here on the very top, I would see the mass changes interface. So what I can do with them is I can completely replace the link, that is the final URL of the ad. Bear in mind that on Yandex you can specify your final URLs only on the ad level. So no URLs on the keyword level, only ad level. That's very strict. So what do you got here? You've got multiple changes to completely replace the link. You can play around with the link section to edit the domain and path, or edit some parameters. If you want specifically parameters, find and replace something in parameters. Or you can play around with display or tracking parameters itself. Or you can find and replace something in your headlines and description line. And something else here. So bear in mind that the tool is quite useful for amending your ads multiple in the interface. Now, once you've done with the mass changes, if you don't need any of them, if you need to go one by one for these ads, you can hover below and see that you can apply some different variations and some different creatives for headlines and second headline and ad text. At the same time, you've got the limitations here on the right-hand side to see how many characters left. And also you've got contact info in the ads, which is basically either you can specify the final URL, the display URL, which is the path, similar to path and Google Ads, but this is a display URL called up to 30. Up to 30 characters over here, 20 characters, sorry. Cool. So you also can specify the turbo websites if you've got, if you want to rely your the conversions of your website to some server that is based on Yandex servers. You can set up the turbo page and add the turbo site here. And you can also specify, as I said, on the campaign level, you can specify the organization for your ad. That will enable some additional features like ratings of your organization and rate reviews here, like stars rating. You can also amend different images and videos, different creatives for your ad, and add some extensions like vCard, which is the virtual card, which I explained already on the campaign settings. You can also apply callouts, and have an idea of how many characters you left for the callouts. Bear in mind that 66 characters is the limit for all 4 callouts in total, or all callouts in total. If you even have 3 of them, all of them needs in total to be less than 66 characters. In terms of site links here as well, you've got up to 8 site links to play with. Some of them will not be shown if your ad is not showing you in very top above the search, but at least some of these site links will work. And you can always play around with this. Bear in mind that these places are fixed, so Yandex will not rotate your site links. If you want to, basically once you fix the order of your site links, you can then play around with this in the interface, but Yandex will not automatically adjust the site links for you based on the audience signals. So this feature is not available on Yandex yet, but I hope that Yandex will implement it very soon. Cool, and that's it. You can add another ad, or you can hover later over your ad. This is different that I've chosen before. So that's the ads interface, and that's the ads column here with different table and different columns. Okay, we're done with the ads tab. I'm going to untick these ads because I don't want to look at these. I'm quickly going to go to the beats and keywords. This tab will also reflect only those keywords that are in these ad groups that I've chosen on the previous step. So you can see here that I've got auto-targeting enabled into this group, into this campaign and this group. And the automated bidding strategy brought me one impression over the past 30 days, which is really nothing for this completely auto-targeting, but it will give you some insights in terms of the search queries that were shown. Also, you've got here, again, the metrics either from Yandex itself or from Yandex Metrica, and you can specify in the keyword whether to stop it or to delete. So you can put on hold your keyword unless it brought some significant conversions. You can quickly amend here and apply some negatives as well. So to add over here. And yeah, that's basically it. You can play around with actions over here, either to go to the groups that are for these keywords, or play around with find and replace, or play with bid wizard. The bid wizard will enables you to set the bidding, the bid for the specific traffic volume on Yandex. A very different targeting versus Google Ads. So on Yandex, you are bidding on a certain impression volume, traffic volume, sorry. And if you want to know more about this, hover over Yandex interface support center, and it will give you an idea of what the traffic volume is. Quite a very important topic to understand about Yandex.Direct. You can also raise the bid by a certain amount based on the bid level that Yandex provides you, based on the auction insights. And you can set the final bid to be no more than specific things, specific amount. Cool. I think we've done with the bids and keywords. What else we can add here? Yeah, you can add some operators. I'll change case whenever you have the template working or not. That's basically it. I think we are done with the first section. So we will go next to the reporting and statistics. Before we go here, let me have a look at your questions. And my colleagues will try to support me. Now, okay, so I've got the first question. How can you change the campaign daily budget in this view per week? Okay, so if I go to the campaign tab, first of all, and I can play around with the budget. In this view, if you were referring to this view, you cannot change the daily budget for this campaign. You have to go to the either setting of this campaign and hover over the strategy and change the campaign budget over here. Spend up to $500 per week. That's basically it. Next question is, if we set a weekly budget, does Yandex know to split up the budget by 7 days so that the budget doesn't run out on Thursdays, for example? So the bidding algorithm will try to spread your budget to give you a maximum of your targeting goal, either conversions or ROI. So, for instance, your business is running very great on the Mondays and Wednesdays. So once the campaign will have some historical data, the bidding algorithm will try to spend maximum on Mondays and Wednesdays whenever they've got some traffic, and leave some of them towards the end of the week. On the first week or first few weeks, give a chance for the bidding strategy to optimize a little bit. So it may spend a significant amount of budget during the first couple of days and then leave the rest until the end of the week. But that's normal situation. You should give some time for the strategy to learn and adapt. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Sorry. So next question is there a Yandex editor, like a version of Yandex but not for desktops? Yes, there is one. It's called Yandex.Direct Commander. I will explain you where to download it and where to navigate to it a bit later. Do you have stats, percentages of Yandex usage in Russia? How is its relation to Google? Do some regions use Yandex more than others? That's a very good question for those who are really interested into digital marketing for Russia. I would say there are a few places where you can find it here. I will show you later a few useful links, but in my presentation today, we're not going to cover the split between Yandex and Google in Russia and some regions. When it comes to compliance, where can we find info about restricted ads and current regulations to certain industries? I'm curious about medical marketing, which is highly regulated. Very good question for your industry. So the support center, whenever you, for instance, you can go to the support center right from the right-hand side, you click on priority goals or whatever setting, and here you can navigate to Yandex.Direct rules for a specific segment and have a look at your segment specifically. If you can't find some information, contact either your account manager, or I will tell you a bit more whom you can call to understand where to look for it. Where can I find this publisher report to block specific sites? Okay, good question. We're going to cover the reporting in the next section in a few minutes, so bear with me. I will answer your question about the publisher report a little bit later. Next, we had have negative keyword function been improved because before even exact match negative keywords used to trigger ad clicks? Interesting question. I would say that I haven't experienced such in my digital career. I'm more than 6 years at 4PMX, but I haven't experienced a time when exact match negative keywords used to trigger ad clicks. This is a very interesting question. Maybe you have to specify what was the keyword and what was the negative keyword, so I can answer it better. But I would say that the negative functionality didn't change at all, because the rules of applying negatives on different levels and the rules of operators, they didn't change. Next question, is it possible to download data directly at the campaign, ad group or ad level, or do you have to go through the statistics section? Yes, you have to go to statistics and reporting to download the data from there. You can't download from this specific page, for instance. So there's no button here, and you can only, basically you can't do it. The easiest way to go to is to go to stats for this specific campaign, or select multiple campaigns and go to the stats over here. We're going to cover this in a few seconds. We still got 3 more questions for this section. Let me try to answer this, and then we're going to have a small break. How to upload my own ready video to use in mobile apps campaign? Very niche question, very good one. I would say that the place where you can upload your video is within the ad tab for your campaign. Hover to the ad tab and try to add another ad copy. Cool. If you specify a little bit more about your own video, maybe you think about the background of your video extension or of the video ad, I can try a little bit better on what you need. Another question I have, how do you run a search query report for your keywords? A good question. We're going to cover this in a second because we'll go in the reporting section a little bit further. Are any of your other Yandex webinars available on demand? I would say yes. because we've got a section here with the information that is available about the upcoming webinars and online trainings. So I'm going to talk about this in the following sections, so bear with me as well. Cool. So seems like we've done with all the questions for the first section. Thank you very much for those who've asked. Let us now have a little break, and after a few minutes we're going to come back to the reporting and statistics. Thank you. Okay, I'm back and hope you had a break as well. So we are continuing. Thanks for those who joined just now. We're continuing our webinar about the new Yandex interface and the changes that were made in 2020. We already covered today the campaigns, ad groups, and ads and keywords tabs. Now we're going to go to the reporting and statistics. And again, I'm going to switch to the real interface. How to navigate to reporting, first of all. You either go to the left-hand side navigation panel and go to the statistics lane over here to see different reports over here, statistics for all campaigns, report wizard, or other things. Or you can tick whatever campaign you want to go stats with, as many campaigns, and go to statistics for 2 campaigns, for instance. I'm going to click to this statistics for 2 campaigns, sorry. And at my view is the interface of the reporting tool. The very powerful reporting tool, this report wizard. And this is the second line over here if you go to the statistic and report wizard. So what report wizard has for you? First of all, you can group your stats down below in the table by selected period that you choose, or by day, or by week, or by month, different segmentations. You can choose attribution model if you chose the goal from Yandex Metrica, if you've got Metrica linked to your campaigns. And you can select different things here in the sections. So, for instance, you can select different segments and dimensions like campaigns, groups. Let's go to campaigns, ad groups, and retargeting lists, for instance. And you can also select the metrics from either Yandex or from Yandex Metrica. Let's go to clicks and conversions, and maybe CPA. The goal cost, which will be cost per conversion. And I would like the goal cost to be right after the conversions. Then next thing you can choose, you can filter campaigns. You see here already filtered by 2 campaigns because I chose the 2 campaigns in the interface, in the campaign tab. If I choose some of them, this will be here. If I don't choose any of them, I just go to statistics and report wizard, this will give me the stats for all campaigns. I'd like to clear it and maybe do it again for you. You can have a filtering criteria, and you can filter your campaigns by name, by number. You can filter groups or labels of the groups. Now you can filter either by ad name as well, or status, or to do some filtering by adjustments. So a lot of things to do to play with. You can even filter by clicks for those campaigns that you have more than, for instance, 10 clicks to see the list over here. I'm going to click to show, or alternatively, you can export campaign in the Excel for XLSX or CSV data, and that's the only place you can export the campaign from overall Yandex interface, the place in Report Wizard or other tabs here, but the export doesn't work from the first views when we had the campaign views or ad group view or ad view. So I'm going to hide the left-hand side panel to make the, the screen a bit bigger. So here you've got all the dimensions that you've listed in the left-hand side section over here. You get also all the metrics that you've chosen on the right-hand side. And you can even play around with diagram, with some graphs. It's a built-in graph feature on Yandex. You can choose whatever metrics you want to show and play around again at the same time to analyze quickly your data. Brilliant, and you can even export this data in, the graph itself in the image, or you can click and give a snapshot of this page. That's the most powerful tool of Yandex.Direct, the report wizard. Now let's go to the next features that you have here. The All tab will show you the statistics for all campaigns and a little bit limited settings you have here. The periods, the groupings, the sites. If you click a couple of sites to go to, for instance, search and networks, this will give you an overview of impressions, clicks, and cost, and all other derivatives of these three metrics by the targeting placement that you've chose, for instance, by search or by networks. And you can download this data as Excel file as well. This is for all campaigns. Again, the same place you can navigate to is the statistics tab on the left and statistics for all campaigns. This is the quick link for you to navigate to. Next bit for you to analyze is the search queries, and that's the place where you play with the search query. I remember there was a question about the search queries. So we have an option here to play with different search queries by day, by a certain period of time, the same functionality of the reporting interface. You have dimensions on the left, you have metrics on the right, and you have filter here to filter based on different criteria, like campaigns, ad groups, ads, sites, or something else, whichever you prefer. You can also always export this to Excel and play around at your own on your computer. Cool. There's also one tab over here which was missing on the previous page for some reasons, but you can also see the stats for only important campaigns, those campaigns that you've ticked as important. To remind you how to do this, you go to all campaigns and put a mark over here to add the campaign to the most important, mark as important, or you can remove it from most important. Now let's go back to the stats and report wizard, and then go to the only most important campaigns. That's again the same interface here, quite limited. You can choose the period of time, groupings, and different sites. What are other things for you to navigate to? So first of all, request reports. This is the data that you would want to pull for some specific campaign types, like mobile ad promotion campaign, or dynamic ads campaign, or even a smart banners campaign. So some expanded formats of this. So far, this account has only two campaigns. One is targeting search, and another is targeting ad networks. And you can specify the periods and groupings and the request report. For some basic type of campaigns, this will give you a PDF, quite in a readable format. And for those who just joined the digital marketing world, this will be a quite useful format to read through. But for advanced users and for analysts, this will not give too many details. So I'd rather play around with Report Wizard instead. But for some campaign types, this statistical reports is the only place where you can pull some search query reports, for instance, for smart banners. Great. Let me go back here. One last thing we have about the reporting is the report on the changes that were made for your campaigns. The change log, or history of changes, is the log of all changes that were made by users across the web on your account. So whenever you have some user, you can specify who changed this and when changed this. So over either the past 30 days, or you can specify in certain days where you want to show the changes of your interface and of your data. And here you can pull different interesting things. Bear in mind the changelog is still in beta and is still under construction, so some changes will appear here during 2021, but the core ones are already here. So you can play around with this and explore the beauty of the changelog and some limitations of this. Great. I think we're done with the reporting stuff. So let me now have a look at your questions. If you have any, go ahead, shoot. This is your time to shoot questions about reporting capabilities of Yandex.Direct. And I don't think we have any questions so far. Let me give you another 30 seconds to think about. Any question? Okay, if no questions, perfect. Let's go then to the next section. What section we have is a library of useful things that you've uploaded to Yandex.Direct. Let's go back to the interface. On the left-hand side panel, you've got the library section here. And this is the place where you upload your audiences, not the place where you upload your customer data, like CRM data, but this is the place, first of all, where you can set the RLSA lists. So I've got 5 lists here. Okay, I can see that there's one reporting question in the webinar interface. Let us answer this one before we discuss the RLSA. Can you create automated reports that get emailed to you weekly? No, unfortunately, this is not available. So whenever you want to automate your reporting, you either need to work with Yandex.Direct via API, or you need to go manually on this, unfortunately, and ask someone to send you reports. So there's no automated schedule of the reports in the interface. You're welcome, Simpson. Okay, so back into the library. So we are here on the retargeting and audiences. And this is the place where you set retargeting lists, RLSA, if you are from the Google world. So we've got 5 lists here already set. Let's have a look how it was set. Basically, you can apply some rule and you can choose what is the source of your data. It's going to be either Yandex Metrica or Yandex Audience. And this is specifically is the place where you can upload some offline data, like from your Salesforce or from your another CRM data, a CRM base, or from your analytical tool that tracks your mobile app campaign, for instance, from Google Play or App Store. You can specify whatever goal you want to select, and either a selected goal or this goal and similar and lookalike users, and for what period of time you want this goal to be actioned in this rule. And you can apply different rules here, cross-matched with another set of rules, and Yandex will give you a forecasted number of visitors if you start targeting this specific audience in your campaign. Cool. That was quickly the interface of each RLSA. Here on this page, you've got the ID, and if you ever specify the tracking to track the specific audience ID in the tracking using the value track parameters, then this is the ID you will get in the analytical tool, including Yandex Metrica and Google Analytics. You can quickly check where this RLSA list is used, in which campaign, and even get some top-line data by the list, whether you've got some impressions, clicks, or NCTR. Cool. Next bit we have about in the library section is feeds. And this is the place where you upload the feed that will be used into some specific products like Smart Banner product, Smart Banner campaign type, or dynamic search ads campaign type. You can upload feed either manually from your computer, or you can link the file via the static URL. Obviously, you have to check you have to check the rules of how your feed should be set up. So, unfortunately, not for all businesses, the Google feed that works for Google Shopping will work for Yandex, for Smart Banners, or for dynamic ads. So you have to check at the structure of the feed. If you want to know more, hover over here question mark and quickly go through how the feed specifications, or read more about feed formats on Yandex Support Center. So very easy for you to navigate. Cool. I'm gonna go to the next bit of the library, which is creatives for Smart Banners. This is the place where you can play around with some creatives to create them specifically for Smart Banners. Campaign, you can choose the industry and then play around with different creative formats for your future campaign and see how this will be designed. So, for instance, I chose hotels, even though this one isn't localized, unfortunately. But I hope that Yandex will amend it quite quickly to that, so that the interface of this section is also in English. You can play around with creatives and see how it looks like in the Yandex advertising network for your business. You can choose the logo, the background, some different bits like headlines and even price, and the button color and the button text on it. Cool. Next bit in the library is the Turbo Page Builder. This is for those businesses, again, who want to rely on the speed of loading the page for the customers. The Turbo Page is basically is hosted on the Yandex servers, and you're giving up some page in the speed page, and all analytics you have, it will be from that page, not your domain page. Next bit in the library is the mobile apps, and this is the place where you can set links to your apps that you have either in App Store, in Apple App Store, or in Google Play. You have to specify the link and the app name, choose what things you want for your app to show, either price, the rating, the number of ratings, and the icon. Next bit that you have in the library is the negative keywords. That's the place where you can specify different negative lists. Remember that you can apply your lists only on ad group level. Unfortunately, the campaign level list linking is not available yet, but on ad groups you can already specify them, and you can add the set of keywords, of negative keywords, name it somehow, and add them either separated by lines, or with I think better for you to separate by lines or with minuses. Another bit in the library section is the business cards, and that's the place where you can set the V card for your ads. So, for instance, you've got ads without V cards over here, or if you have already set the virtual card, the virtual business card, as I explained, it will give an option for your campaigns to have an additional bit of information in your ad copy, either phone or address of your business. And if you want to specify this will be basically the place where you can set the view card wizard. And that's it. The library section was quite short, and I hope that it gives you an impression on where to navigate if you have a certain question. Cool. Let's go back to the agenda. What do we have next? We've got tools. Before we move on to tools, let me see if you have any questions. Okay. What's the benefit of linking your mobile app to the Yandex interface? I believe this is not the benefit, but actually this is the place on how you you can specify. By linking your app to the interface, you can then enable your campaigns and your ads within Yandex.Direct to have an additional extension. And whenever Yandex show your ad copy, it may also have a little rating of your ad, of your application that is either in Google Store or App Store. So this is the place where you can set the link to your mobile application, and an additional ad extension will be shown or alongside your standard text ad. I hope it answered your question. But that's a very good one. Thanks, Piotr. Cool. Don't see any other questions. So if you have anything, type it down and I'll answer it a bit later. Now let's move on to the tools. The tools section here is quite it's quite big one, but we're going to cover this during a few minutes. So let's go top to bottom. First of all, in the tools section, you've got the video builder. This is the builder that is already within Yandex.Direct interface, and it gives you an option to play around with some creatives and to set up the creatives. That's the place where you can upload your video and check how it looks like on the background of your ad. The budget forecast tool is the tool to calculate the forecast, the budgets for your search campaigns that will be based on keywords. So bear in mind, you will not be able to forecast the budgets of your campaign that is running on either on audiences or interests, but only for search and based on keyword level, based on keyword targeting, you will be able still to see some forecasts. You can set up the region and refine it up to the city level in some countries. You can set the forecast either for some week or a month or a quarter or a year, and either for mobile only sites or for all sites, and you can choose between the currencies you see on this in this list. Now then you will specify the list of keywords. You can also apply some common negative keywords that will apply to all keywords here, and calculate. Basically, this will give you an option and that you will then analyze with your N lists and whether or not to go with a certain region and certain campaigns, certain keywords, sorry. Okay, let's go back to the tools. The next thing we have here is the keyword selection. Another name of this is the Yandex word stat. So this is the place where you plan and you can check the historical past 28 days impressions, search volumes per each keyword. You can either type it by keyword, or you can specify, or you can see in total for all regions or for some specific regions that you want to choose. You can type also, for instance, by region, and it will give you an idea of how, sorry, the CAPTCHA will not allow me to do this. Good, good, good. So you will have either impressions per month for this keyword in total, or with all inlaid queries, inlaid search queries. You also have on the right-hand side the requests, similar to Alice. And then the other bit here is a query history. This will give you an option to see the history of your, let me show you how it looks like. Nope, it doesn't give me an option over here. So, for instance, if I go to the query history of Alice Ward, I will give, it will give me an option to see the amount of search volumes of this keyword in all regions that I specified in that specific month. For instance, in August 2019, it was 180,000 searches on Yandex worldwide. And down below here, you've got the table, which is unfortunately undownloadable, so you have to copy that one, just expanding on the, taking the all the data from this sheet. Cool. And you can also see and group the stats by week. Cool. Let me get back to the interface of the Yandex.Direct and go to the next thing after the keyword selection tool that we played with. There's a changelog. Again, this is another place where you can click on the changelog on the history of changes. We already covered that, but if you want to quickly go to, you go to Tools and you go to the changelog here. The Turbo Page Builder, again, we already seen this in the library. So over here, you also can work with some very bright individuals that are experts of Yandex.Direct. Here's the place where you can navigate through some individuals that are rated by their customers, and you can see their cost of running ads with these guys. You can choose whatever guy is listed here, or a lady listed here, or you can choose and play around with the agency. Another bit here in the tools is the mobile app, and that's the place where you can download an app to your phone, and on the go you can change some status of campaigns, or for instance you can change some biddings and settings of the campaigns. So that's the place where you can go to download the mobile app. This will be available for both phones and tablets. API is the bit where you can specify your app and get API access to your Yandex account. And that's for those who want to automate the reporting as well. So whenever you have a big company already aware of API capabilities of your data center, and you can start and pull the data from Yandex via API, like we do at 4PMX. And finally, you've got Commander. This is exactly the place where you navigate if you want to play with offline editor tool. This is called Direct Commander. You click here with Learn More, and you download the either Windows version or macOS version for playing with your accounts or multiple accounts one by one on your desktop. I remember that we had a question on that. Another thing that you can play with is managing ads with Excel in the interface. So once you click here, you can then upload some Excel sheets. But I wouldn't really recommend you playing with Excel sheets because the either interface or offline tool is that powerful that you can play with either that or either of that, basically, instead of actually uploading the Excel sheets to the interface. Okay, I think we finished with the tools section, and that was the fourth section that we went. Let's now have a look at the chat bar. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Bum, bum, bum. I don't see any questions regarding the tools section, so I'll give you a few more seconds to think if you may have any. And okay, that's fine. All right, let's then go to the very final section of our webinar, which is called the other useful features. So in the interface, you can finally navigate to some very interesting but very niche settings. For instance, you can hover over the ID of your login, and over here you can see the rating, which will give you a very summary of the quality of your account. This number is not exactly used by Yandex to differentiate between different accounts and different advertisers, but this gives you an impression on whether your campaign is and your account is good enough, is structured enough, good enough, using different campaign types and different ad extensions. On the level from 0 to 10, we've got at the moment 9.1, which is really good setting, really good score. You can also go to the setting of your login in the Yandex.Direct, which will give you an option to choose on whatever email to get notifications, email for some news and recommendations as well. You can specify your phone and your full name, then to be addressed appropriately in the email newsletter. You can specify the Yandex Metrica tag for all new campaigns so that you don't really worry to mess it up if you create a new campaign. You can also show labels and other bits over here, so including the notification language of your email notifications. Either English, Russian, or Ukrainian are available here. Okay, that was the user settings. Now I'm going to go back to the campaigns list over here and proceed with different things. So I also haven't touched yet with field filters. If I click on for instance, on some campaign and go to the field filters, if my campaign has some feeds already in there, so for instance, I've got ad group with one feed and another ad group for a different feed, then here's the place where you can play around with your feeds and see the statistics for your feeds. The retargeting lists as well, this is available for that specific campaign that I chose. This is the place where you can see on how the RLSA list worked for my campaign, and it had some impressions, some clicks, and some conversions that brought my campaign and my business. All right, the very last bit that I have here is the user profile. The user profile tab is for those interests when you have set this up in the campaign settings. Whenever you've got, in the ad group settings, whenever you've got ad group targeting a specific interest, this is the place where you set and you can see the stats per each interest. You can either see where this interest is used in the ad group, and also have a look at the impressions, clicks from Yandex, and both the conversions. overall conversions. It's worth mentioning here. Okay, very last bits on what to expect from the interface. If you hover over this and you can click to the settings again of the advertising account, you can go to the average daily spend for the whole account, and this is the place where you set the daily cap for this account. If you enable this, for instance, if you have $500, this will be the limit per day for your account. And there are two different display modes, basically bidding modes. It's either going to be standard, which is a more similar to Google accelerated bidding, accelerated budget delivery mode, or it's going to be distributed, which will enable Yandex to spread evenly your budget, your daily budget during the day. You can also specify here again email notifications, same as you did in another field, and get some notifications about the payments of your accounts, and also specify some phone number if you have it linked into the from another page that we looked at. Cool. Few more things that I promised for us to show at is the information tab. The information tab here provides you opportunity to go to quickly to the help center, to the Yandex support help center, and go and navigate and read through different features and options. Another thing is to go to the Yandex ADV platform. That's the place where you can have a look at different strategic initiatives that Yandex is rolling out for wider audience or in open beta. So different things were applied just a few days ago, for instance, simplified settings in Yandex.Direct, a new mode with basic strategy settings and switch to return to the usual full settings was enabled. You can also, on this ADV platform, quickly go to the Yandex advertising products to go and to have some specifics, or to go for the trainings and certification and pass and take the Yandex.Direct exam. From the Yandex.Direct interface, again, you can also navigate to online trainings. This will be very useful for those who are just starting their life with Yandex.Direct, how to put the text ad, the first ad on your Yandex account, and then how to select properly keywords or forecast your budgets, etc., etc. These are the trainings that are available online for you, and Yandex has prepared it for you to go online at your own pace. And then finally, you've got cases. These are the cases that were made by Yandex in collaboration with some brands, both local Russian brands or some international brands, or these were in collaboration with agencies like for BMax. So whenever you have a question, you can ask this and you can talk to your account manager if you have any. If you don't have, you can have a call, you can give a call to the support center, either if you're based in Moscow, or you can call from whatever country you're dialing in by actually giving +7 800 and these numbers ahead with this extension. That's it. The very last part was the guide, but this is basically the guide to this interface, the text guide in the Yandex Support Center. But I hope you had a very good opportunity to know the interface of the Yandex.Direct through this webinar. So we finished with the agenda. We covered all of them, all of bits that we've wanted. Thank you very much for listening to me today, and I hope you enjoyed this webinar. Let me have a look if we have any final questions. I'll give you some time to maybe think of some few seconds. You're welcome, Massimo. All right. If no more questions, thank you very much for your time. Have a great day ahead and have a great weekend. Stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.